It's that time. The Brightside Chronicles is about to go down with Kerri and Nana. You ready for the show to begin?
Hey, let's go. Let's get it. It's almost showtime. Let's go. Let's get it. It's almost go time. Let's freaking go.
Let's go!
Let's go! Oh, we got mad people popping off on yours, babe. So we'll keep them up. I'm going to exit out of mine. All right, our listening audience. It's at the Brightside Chronicles episode 7. I'm here with my amazing co-host and favorite person in the world, Nana. And today we both have the amazing privilege of having my dear friend Jamie on board. Joy. What's going on, Jamie?
Yeah, namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Honestly, the joy in my life right now is being present with both of you and being in that frequency of joy and what the amazing power that it has, the ability to be in joy even when you're not feeling joy also.
I love that. So what does that mean for you? Like being in joy but not feeling joy?
Well, so for example, right now I'm in mourning. My fur child transitioned over the Rainbow Bridge on Friday. He was my pride and joy. I have another pride and joy as well, but like still, child.
Yep.
And I've obviously been very devastated and depressed. However, Rory brought me an unimaginable amount of joy and came into my life at a time when I felt no joy. And he helped bring me back to joy, which, like, in a way, this feels like I'm honoring him just by being here and speaking about this. And so I can be devastated and mourning, and I can also be in joy right now, genuine joy, for talking about joy, for being here with both of you, for raising high vibes, for integrating all these energies. We are multifaceted and sensory beings, and we can experience many emotions at any given time. So that's what it looks like for me right now.
Absolutely love it. And again,
I'm going to have you kick it off for a minute so I can put in Jamie's contact information for people to follow.
You do your thing. But I was going to say, sending my condolences to your baby, and you being keep going in the memory of the fur baby. I'm excited. I just love it. And so your voice, I just get this note. So
I appreciate you. Your excitement. I was prepared for it. I will say that Kerri has described you very well, and I love it. And I love
promise
it.
you, I'm a regular person, which I just feed off of the energies around me. I have like great people, including this one on the bottom over here. And then just family, friends, and people. And I mean, the news today of mother's son being born. It had me elated, enjoying the moments of happiness. That's transformative.
Yeah. No, I love it. Everyone is special to me. No one is better than or less than anyone else. And we all have our special frequency and sauce. And, I acknowledge your gift of being in that vibration and sharing that. That's beautiful.
You as well.
So,
thank you.
On the topic of joy and how cultivating joy helps us navigate like unexpected or even expected physical losses or unexpected changes and challenges. Jamie, what is it you have done and managed to cultivate joy within your life that allows you to be present for and show about joy despite the mourning and navigating the transition of a very, very important energy for you?
That's a great question. I would say that I prepare for these sorts of moments, in the sense that, like a battery, right? Um, if I'm gonna go traveling, I'm probably gonna charge like all my electronics, right? And like, that's something that we're gonna do. And so if I, now granted, of course, right, we can't always prepare. I had the privilege of being able to prepare for this for a long time. And so it enabled me to very intentionally, on a day to day basis, fill up my battery pack. So that way I had a commitment to, I am not going to crumble forever. And that doesn't mean that I didn't crumble. I allow myself to feel these things. And so the way that I fill my battery pack is by making sure that I'm balanced and healthy and giving myself joy, feeding myself joy every day. And for me, that looks different all the time. But for me, spirituality, friends, animals, having loving, conscious conversations, music, nature, art, there are many different things that bring me joy. I'm a manifesting generator, so it takes very little to get me hyped. There's more things I enjoy in life than not. So it's really about like transferring that. And like I said, the fact that Rory brought me unimaginable joy, and he was just a joy to bring around. I mean, he brought joy to people all around the world, virtually, in person. I made a commitment to him before that time came that I was going to keep it going, that I was going to keep the mission alive, and I'm going to embody that joy. And I believe that he's here right now helping to bring the joy as well.
Shout out to Larry. Shout out to Larry.
I love that so much. James, what's your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel? It ought to be Wake In. Just Wake.
I knew it wasn't under your name, and I wanted to add it, so I want to pull it. I got it. So, all right. So, talking about joy and how you cultivate it and charge your battery, which I 100% love, because we literally have a recirculating activating system, right? That if we tell our brain what to seek, it's going to seek joy. And part of charging our battery is cultivating those practices, so that way, and for me, I can speak for you, but intention setting, so that my mind is naturally finding experiences that are joy filled and cause me to laugh. And even if I am going through something challenging, which we discussed offline, my children are going through things. The universe provides me with an abundance of opportunities to sit in a bliss all the time. It's such a beautiful thing. So, one thing you shared with the guys before is you art. Can you share with the listening audience how art plays in your joy?
Absolutely. Wow. Art came into my life very young. I had the benefit and privilege of parents who were also raised by people that loved art, and so I was raised to learn about art and culture. I live in New York. We should probably contextualize. I'm a New Yorker, born and raised, so I'm in a major art. Yeah, I'm in a major art hub. I'm in Brooklyn, and I grew up in New York and the surrounding areas, and so I was in and out of museums, all the time. I got into culinary arts incredibly young. But for me, my art story actually starts even younger than that. I would say it really began with my art teacher, Mrs. Y, who I honestly don't know if she's still on this plane, but regardless of where she is, I believe she is receiving my love right now and this message. I was bullied a lot when I was a kid, and in elementary school especially. And she would allow me to come into the art room during recess or lunch periods or whatever, and do whatever art I wanted and eat and just have a safe space. And so for me, art became this safe space, but I was still limiting myself. I was still judging my art, and I felt really insecure. Fast forward a really long time through coloring books and all sorts of things that I would never label myself as an artist outside of culinary arts, went through culinary training, blah, blah, blah. And then the pandemic. And And the pandemic happened, and I was looking for ways as a hyper emotional, high EQ person to express myself. And I started to dive much deeper into my spiritual awakening. And through this, I started to channel. And I started to actually channel art. And it started by drawing some symbols and things. And then it started by me going into painting. And finally, I landed in love with watercoloring, which is something I already loved, but I did not really do some sort of formal training or anything to get through there. And through this journey, I have channeled probably 4 different collections at this point of channeled art. Within this process, I got trained and attuned in Reiki, and I realized that I could do quantum healing through a process that I channeled in. I downloaded this process of how to guide people through a very quantum level healing experience with art, that they're left with something literally tangible that has Reiki in perpetuity, their intentions, as you were speaking to earlier, Kerri. And now I do this in single sessions as well as in group formats. And today I actually sold my first piece ever.
Let's go!
So
Let's go!
It's a huge shift. Little Jamie is totally shocked right now.
Yeah.
Major healing, and it brings me incredible joy to know that this process brought this person incredible joy, and that someone in a different country than me is going to have this healing forever. It's mind-blowing. It's totally mind-blowing to me, and it just feels so freeing. I feel every type of emotion when I go through that process, but something that Kerri and I were speaking to offline, which is so powerful, is like unattached, right? And there's something really beautiful and unconditionally loving about being unattached to the emotions and the healing that someone else is going through, even though, you know, it's your air quotes materials and your hand and you're the channel. And so for me, it feels freeing.
Well, okay, so my thing is, first and foremost, shout out to Brooklyn, because I love New York. As I mentioned, I get excited to go to cons over there, friends that are also around the area. But, like, I just love the arts, because I'm not an artist at all, but I love in art design, I love how the is. That stuff gets me when I see, even like painting-wise, I have in my room that I got from my friends. So that painted it. Oh my gosh. So like that within itself, shout out to you on your piece. Like that's hell of impressive. With this day and age, technology and you being able to put an idea to how you felt. It's amazing. I'm gonna give you that for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, we all have an ability to be an artist when we are a divine co-creator, which we all are, right? And, you know, we attract whatever it is that we resonate with at different times and forms of art. And, you know, almost in a way, just releasing that concept of needing to be an artist or not by label allows you almost to dive in deeper. And that's, I think, how I got to where I'm at now, because I didn't care. Like at one point, that was something I thought that I needed or wanted, because society was like, you know, you got to go to school or you got to be able to sell a piece, otherwise you're not an artist, or whatever the case may be. But that was not my goal. My goal was to express in a way that felt meaningful, in a way that made people feel something. You know, when I went to my first ever Van Gogh exhibit, and I saw his self-portrait, I was totally shocked by this. But I mean, I'm very emotional, as I said, but I was still shocked. To this day, it is the only piece I think that I've ever walked up to and immediately just started bawling. I just started crying, and I couldn't stop crying for like a really long time. Like it was just, as if I could feel every ounce of pain that he felt in his soul. And he struggled a lot with depression and many things, if you learn about his journey.
You know what I mean? especially you talk about the whole safe space with your teacher, that might have been his place of like becoming a genius when he's locked into that, you know.
Exactly. And, so I just wanted people to feel something. And then when I started to channel in these methods of sort of a whole sort of session, if you will, of a way to utilize this art and Reiki with healing and involves meditation. I mean, there's all sorts of layers to it. I was like, no one's gonna want this. Like, no one's gonna care about this. And in those days, I was on Clubhouse and I was blown away by the amount of people that were getting engaged in it. But I still didn't think much was gonna come of it, and I just stuck with it. And then one day, now we're here, and today is the one day. And I got an email saying I want that piece, and that's just how it happens. And I don't feel like I'm an artist because I sold this piece. I think that I'm an artist because for me, being an artist means that you are a divine co-creator, that you are being intentional in your creation in the world, and whatever you're bringing is beautiful. It's your secret sauce. And one of the exciting ways that I create that secret sauce and share that sauce now is through these watercolors. And someone can call me an artist just for whatever reason they want to call me an artist, but for me, that's what matters.
I think about the fact that we do co-create with the universe. So I'm anything and everything I want to be in any given moment. And I truly believe that authenticity is allowing the present moment to unfold in divine perfection without filter, which means if I'm called to you, I'm a singer because I must sing to you. Or I'll dress up in cosplay with Nana just because why not? And when we don't limit ourselves to this idea that we need to be a certain way or produce a certain thing, then we have access to limitless creation.
It's true. I mean, going back to you cosplay. I don't know. I was thinking of like, how do I transmit this to a certain audience? So there's this trend going on with this guy, right? Like he's a fitness guy, alcohol, dips his head in water. I've been watching a video. Funny to me. He's a bodybuilder. He's an online coach. How can I bring the sense of cosplay? Kerri and I are so like we have an idea of how to set it up. That's my zone. I see something. I'm like, okay, this is something that can translate to a different niche group of people that that content. You know what I mean? And it's not that I'm like I'm just doing what makes your niche like one like. If it gets 1,000 likes, I'm good for it. And it's funny because earlier speak somebody I put a cosplay of me called Death, and someone like this is the type of like 50 likes, 1,000. I was like, I don't do it. I just do it because I want. Like it's just self-expression. Same thing with art. Same thing with all spirituality. You just speak to what this is my moment.
I love that. And I totally agree. And I love cosplay. And when we get to all be together, we'll have some fun. You'll gotta deck me out.
I didn't know you cosplay.
What? I mean, I don't have like a closet full of things that I would love to cosplay in, but do I love cosplay and like do I like dressing up and have it on cosplay? Yes. 100%.
It's art. Like that's the thing is like literally like a form of art. And that's also I'm like think about it. It's people painting, building I don't know and things that need to as close as they can. What more can you expect? There's a sense of creativity that responsibility and there's so many like the element of cost. Yeah, of course you can costume up like It's just one of the. It's a form of. I thought down to it.
It is art, and the costumes themselves, what it takes to put into some of these are incredible. But yeah, no, like Kerri, don't be surprised on things that I like, because like truly, especially because for me, it's all about who I'm with. So it's like, I don't really like chess, but I totally loved Queen's Gambit, just putting it out there. I don't really like chess, but like, if Kerri and Nana were like, yo, we love chess.
We kind of do.
Do you want to play? I would. Well, I'm psychic.
Yeah. So, fuck too. Like literally, like she doesn't like to lose. I don't like to lose either. But
okay, so I would be like, let's play. Like I would have fun because you both love it, and I love watching you love it and experiencing your joy. Like to me, like experiencing other people experiencing joy. Holy crap! Like what is better than that?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Did you know that the very first fight Nana ever had was over a chess game, Jamie?
Why you gotta bring this up, Jamie? I was trying to just mind my own business, and you just want to.
I think that's hilarious. Nope. Now you got to tell the story.
Yeah, you gotta go ahead. Tell the story, please. Go right ahead.
So Nana beat my butt at chess like 45 times. So I beat him one day, and I was like, "Oh, I beat you!" And I was being.
You would have been a whole lot on the whole.
Well, I would be in his face too if it had been 45 fucking times. I would.
So I was all up in his. I was like, and he felt some type of way about that. Mind you, Nana is so dang good at sports. He kicks my butt at bowling. You name it. And so I have to have my one thing, which I do, and it's called gin, rummy, and rummy.
Yeah.
Cannot hold it.
I don't want it. I played rummy a couple times with her, and I'm like, I'm on a losing streak for the last like 5 games, right? Yeah. Every moment.
So, okay. What's something else that brings you joy? Here's the thing, because you're the only one who's not echoing names, I'm going to have you bogart our conversation today.
I'm happy to do it. I'm flattered. I'm flattered. Yeah, I mean, so much brings me joy. I mean, I'm sitting in a space of joy. This is my healing room. This is my sanctuary. I love bringing people into this space. I have so many things that I love in this space. Like, I love all of the oracle and tarot decks that are here. I have crystals throughout the space, and these candles, you can't really tell, but these are heart-shaped. Pink Himalayan rock salt candle holders, and they are real candles that are around. In front of me, I have all of the sound healing equipment because I recently did major upgrades. So I'm very into and very much receiving joy from practicing and providing and amplifying my services. I just got myself some courses to take as well to just get even better, because why not? I love, what else is in here? I mean, the way that I've decorated the space, my other cat, Amy, my other fur child, brings me immense joy. I love laying on the couch with friends and binge watching something that we love and laughing. And then laughing until you cry, and then laughing because you're crying, and then crying because you're laughing about the fact that you're crying, and everything in between. I love every love language. So being able to provide that and share that, whether it's cuddling or an act of service, massaging someone, cooking for someone, getting out into nature, having conversations. I love being on podcasts. Like, I just love it. I've just realized that that's something that brings me an immense amount of joy, which kind of makes sense because I did go through getting a journalism degree. But back then, doing like podcasts, it's so wild to think about because I'm really not that old. I just turned 36. But like when I graduated in 2012, like doing podcasts kind of like this, the way that our culture is obsessed with podcasts now and the equipment and stuff that we have, like it didn't exist in the same way, right? Like we had radio shows for sure, and things like that. And I'm sure that the beginnings of those things started to exist, but not the way that they are now. We have a major podcast culture now that the pandemic totally shifted, right? And now people who used to be big readers now are listening to audiobooks and are listening to podcasts. So it brings me an incredible joy. I love shopping, I will say. Like, it's funny how I've become quite the minimalist, but the reality is when I have the funds to do so, I love to shop. I'm not the best at shopping for myself. It's been a work in progress. Because I just love to shop for other people. I really do. I'm like the first person to be like, let's take you to your favorite store and go and do a little runway show and try on like 50 things. And then like, let's laugh about the things that look ridiculous and take all the things that you love. And then let's go to dinner and talk about our favorite ones. And like,
You know what's so funny, Jamie? We definitely need to get together because our daughters would love you.
Oh my gosh.
Love you. I
I'm ready.
lose my mind. In fact, a week or two ago, we went shopping for gala dresses, and the girls were loading up the dresses, and they're in there for hours. And I'm like, this is hell.
What if it's a dress with pockets that have skulls on them?
But here's the heathen still like. There's no appeal. You know what it is? I think it is because I worked in retail for 20-something years. I worked in Nordstrom. I used to outfit people, and I've been there, done that. You know, I love shopping, and I have no problem shopping for myself. Nana will tell you I'm bougie. I like but. Yeah, it doesn't bring me the sense of joy it once did. Probably because I took the skills from enjoying it to wicked addiction. So it was like, oh, let's just spend more money than you actually have. Although I will say, the listening audience, I have a phenomenal leather boot and leather jacket collection. So if anybody who's like, don't skin the animals, I wear leathers.
I wear leather. Also, there's conscious leather, right? There's so many different ways to think about this. And, as someone who has wavered through many different vibes of those kinds of conversations, the more that I have come to learn about the consciousness of plants, the less I think that anyone has a leg to stand on. And we ought to just be focusing on treating every living being properly, period. And so, because once upon a time there was not a lot of thought about this, but they would do they would thank the animal and they would have a ceremony about the animal, and these types of things still happen. There's so many different ways to go about this. How about if you're going to cut down that tree and use it for firewood, thank the tree for all the wisdom that it gained, for all the oxygen that it helped you to breathe. What brings me joy? Free conversations. Conversations that are not gate kept. Conversations of unconditional love where everyone can have their thought, their perspective, and everyone is listening to each other. And joy is where everyone is respecting everything for its essence. And because I believe that everything is everyone and everyone is everything.
100%.
That's how I feel. And I definitely want a runway show of all of your jackets and boots.
Listen. I went to 2 galas this past week. The first gala I wore high heels. Well, the first gala I wore high heels, and in 10 minutes I was walking around barefoot. I was wearing a sequence dress with platform sneakers with lighting all over them. I said, I am not wearing high heels.
I love that. I hate high heels.
Yeah. No.
I mean, you can just talk about the gala, right? Like we were at two just amazing galas. Like, one was on Wednesday. Yeah, it was like
Wednesday, yeah.
and that one was like domestic gala, right? And it was super cool because you had like different like backgrounds, all the room, and it was awesome because we were all there. The cause of supporting people that have been affected by domestic. Then we go to another gala Thursday with Safe Space. More about like supporting the community of LGBTQ and people that are unprepared. Oh my God! Do we have a hi?
Yeah, we're gonna have to pause this conversation.
No, we got hi.
Can you say who's that? Is that Nana?
He said,
Oh no, that. I'm lying.
That's
What's your name?
This is Aziel. He just turned 2 years old.
My God.
Oh yeah.
You're a little archangel.
Who's that?
Yo.
That's
Yeah.
Say Jamie.
Yay!
Let's go.
This is one of my pride and joys.
100%. Children bring me an incredible amount of joy. Kids love me. That has always been the case, and I love them.
Yeah.
I think they're the wonder.
That
Well,
kid
it's
just yeah.
so funny because he is a reminder. Oh, that's fine. What is it? He's a reminder to stay present in the moment. Like when you look at kids, they're blissed out. And so often we take ourselves so seriously, and every time I go downstairs, like he'll start going like this, and I'll do it with him. I'm like, why not? I'll do it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a blast. But back to what you were saying about the gala, my love.
Yeah. So basically, it was super cool because we went to just two different galas, and it was just awesome because we got to experience that stuff in like more dapper setting. But it was really cool because we had genuine conversations with both of us. I ran into like the photographer event, and she knows and I was like doing photography. It was super cool. And the hobbies that she had. Then I'm at the other gala doing the stuff for my sister about like opening businesses. You get to have it's super important. But just never know who you might run events.
Well, you know, I wanted to touch on something. Both galas, Nana and I went one to support funds for domestic violence, and the other for the LGBTQIA community. But something that found fascinating was the pervasive undertone of fear in both those galas. I know I said this to you, Nana, and me, and I'm curious to see what you have to say on this subject, Jamie. Like, I've overcome a lot, right? Domestic violence, sexual assault, and stuff. I never. That's about as much as I talk about that. And then I'm like, this is what I've achieved. I've achieved spirituality. I show up in love. I feel oneness. So I highlight the gift of who I am today. Rather than highlight like the suffering. And I think that's really where my hope for humanity is yes, I don't have issues sharing what I've experienced, because obviously other people know, but I don't drill down on the suffering part. I drill down on the joy part. Like, yes, I went through that as a result. I'm here, I'm loving my life. So I'm curious what you think about that.
Well, for one, I'm not surprised at all that both of them had fear in them. I've definitely experienced fear as a queer trans non-binary person, and I've experienced fear as someone who's experienced small window of domestic violence and experiencing it through supporting others going through it. I will say that it's a delicate balance, I think, between making sure that we honor where we were and focusing on where we are.
Yeah.
I definitely lean much more into my joy and what has happened since, because I personally can't resonate and function at that level. When I look at my life was like when I was talking about that 24/7 and it consumed me in a way that's an addiction all in itself. And
Yes.
so I really lean much more into the joy. I do think that those of us who choose these frequencies and choose these elevations and overcome, something that I've been thinking about a lot in the last really like 2 to 3 years is that delicate line of not bypassing, and the importance, in the same way of light and dark, the importance of sharing where we were to actually create the depth of understanding and overstanding of where we are and how we got there. Because those, as we know, who are needing that support, they are desperate to know how we got here.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is awesome for you. You're giving me hope, but like, can you also tell me step 1, step 2, step 3? Can you hold my hand? Can you hold my hair? Like, you know, I mean, whatever the case may be. And so I also don't shy away from sharing my story. I share my story a lot. I think that the shift for me in how I share my story is that it doesn't hurt anymore to share the story. It feels powerful and euphoric. And so because I'm in my joy, the frequency even that I'm giving off while I'm sharing this story is so high vibe. And so it allows people to feel, right, like I can sit and cry about it, or I can let you cry about it and I can hold your hand. Like, you can cry for where I was and how that resonates for you and what that activates in you. But I don't cry for me. I don't have regrets. I don't have I'm not devastated from what happened. I'm no longer enraged. It's not fueling my life anymore. I'm not alive because of my anger. I'm alive because I loved through it.
Nah, that's deep.
I'm not alive. Oh my God, that was so good.
Nah, I gotta put that one.
Quote you, Jamie, on that. That's beautiful. That is mic dropping. Well said. Like, amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because I like you. I can share my story, but and I can speak to all three of us. We embody up. Like our whole existence exudes love, right? How I show up, giving a hug to my nephew. Some people be like, "Oh, he kept me on, whatever." I just embody love, and in that energy is a high vibration, and I don't need to. And I no longer feel emotions around what I've been through, other than gratitude, like deep intrinsic gratitude to all the experience I've had, because it has allowed me to attract people like you and Nana in my life, to engage in pure love without what you said, good conversation. Like, we can listen to each other's points of view, feel differently about situations, and just honor the crap out of each other, the unique oneness that we are, the collective, and just sit in love for it all.
1000%.
I mean, going back to both those points, I had one of my really good friends think about a couple cars. So she's been through the whole domestic violence situation, and I'm like, we're talking about it, man, like you've been through a lot. He's like, but that doesn't who I am. So that I was like, because at least we let it, like be your end all be all story. She's like, no, it got better because of these things that happened. It helped me try to be like, I can do that stuff anymore. And I was like, job well done for you. She's moving in a different life. Things are going up. I'm like that's what happened throughout the podcast. She's like, I see this stuff you do online. Follows me on social media. It's like I see what you do, people do yourself, and then motivate me. I'm like, bro, I'm a person. I'm about me. I'm just being myself. And it was just cool to hear her talk to like people being her character, forming who she is.
That's beautiful, and that's the way, 100%.
Well, it's funny because I hear you often say you're a regular person, but the truth is in all three of our ability to be present in the current moment. Yes, we're a regular person, but we do, I think, owe it to ourselves to recognize the power that we emit in that energy. Because we are very powerful beings, and that's why you have a huge following, and that's why people are attracted to you, because like you emit a real powerful energy that then gives other people permission to show up in the things that feel right for them, even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else.
Real talk.
Yeah.
You got me blushing.
Well, it's true though.
Yep.
Would you wanna put on some sound?
Yeah, yeah, I am all set up. I just have to figure out where I'm gonna put y'all, but I will be.
All the butterflies. I didn't realize how expensive they were.
They're not. Where are you looking? Oh, expansive. I thought you said expensive. I was like, I was like, they're not expensive.
No, I said expensive, but I get it.
If anything, what's expensive is the amount of time it takes to put these things up.
I love the space though. I love how it just looks like serene.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a little all over the place because I had a couple events today. So I've got pillows on my Reiki table, and everything. But here we go. Let's see. I think this will be.
I know. I'm like curious. I don't know much about this. This is interesting.
All right, we're gonna take a little sound check here to see, because I'm gonna use a second mic, and I want to make sure that I'm not blasting everyone's ears. Oh, I do need to put it up higher. Let me tilt this screen up.
I just love that we're doing this. This is so cool. I'm sorry. I just got super excited. So.
I'm excited that you're excited. I'm actually wondering,
Yeah, listen, I surprised Nana because I didn't know either until Jamie joined us, and I'm like, stayed last night.
Yeah, I was like, so I have these ready.
I just love the fact that we get to share this with the audience. You know what I mean? It just shows that every time we're on this podcast, you just never know what you'll get. You know what I mean?
You never know.
Well, I think that goes to us all allowing things to unfold without creating an expectation or idea of things being be.
100%. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do a little sound test. I'm creating a little pillow for this mic because I don't want to break everyone's eardrums. So we're gonna do a super brief little test here.
Okay.
Tell me how this is sounding.
Good.
Okay. Tell me how this is sounding. You can hear that?
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a tuning fork?
It is 432 hertz. You know me, unconditional love.
Yeah.
You can hear this.
Woohoo!
Right, that's exactly the sound vibes right there.
All right.
Yo, you see how I like this? Wow!
Let's bring it home. I invite everyone to take some slow, deep breaths in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. If you would like to receive Reiki, the Reiki is flowing, and you can simply say, I choose to receive this Reiki for my highest good and for the highest good of all. And that's all you got to do. And enjoy. We're going to tap in. I invite you to think of a special memory, something that brings you incredible joy the moment that you think of this memory. And allow for all the little details, all of the emotions to resurface. And we're going to store this memory even deeper within ourselves. so that we can access joy in any moment that we need to. Oftentimes, when we experience joy, we forget to reflect on that joy. And it's important to tell the physical body, please store this memory for me. I want to remember.
I know you gotta wait, otherwise it's going.
Oh no. I appreciate it.
Yo! That was cool.
You like that?
I was literally thinking, like, this is fascinating.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Like some of the noises were bringing like just memory. I remember especially I don't know the form. I remember like or like the most recent
times.
Yes, that one reminds me of like really like when I was like 9 years old. Like playing in like village area. It's like that's crazy. That's so like cheesy now.
I'm glad. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you enjoyed it, and it's amazing how much sound can activate our memories, isn't it?
Whoa, yeah.
It's amazing, and it all means something different for us all. And, the frequency that it moves within us, those blocked get unblocked, and then suddenly we get to access our memories.
Ugh. I hope you can come back and join us for
I
another
would love
episode.
to.
But
I feel like this time way too quick. I'm just scratching the surface. I'm like, but I want to play more.
I know. I want to play more too. Let's definitely do another one.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime. And Jamie, Nana, and I will be in New York City in August.
yeah, because anime NYC, yeah.
He's going to Anime NYC. I am not. So I'll come to
That sounds so cool. Maybe I'll do a mix of all of those things. Let's definitely talk. Let's definitely talk about it for sure. I would love to see you here.
Any parting wisdom around joy or anything that you can channel for the listening audience around experiencing more love, which is the reason Nana and I did go in the first place?
What I feel called to say is to remember that joy is not an isolated incident. It's something that you get to control bringing into, tapping into, sharing with others. You are the only person who is responsible for your joy, which means that you have the ability to respond. And so you have the ability to figure out what joy is regardless of what's going on. And this year, for those who are really into numerology, you may understand this. It's my 3-year, and I have learned through researching that it is my year of joy. And specifically, one of the big life lessons that I'm meant to fully process through this year is to find the joy regardless of what the external circumstances are. So I encourage you to lean into that, because life is going to keep lifing. Changes are going to keep happening. And in the moment that you are upset or disheartened or in pain, that's the same moment that you could also be in joy and bliss and euphoria. These are not different moments. They're different frequencies, and you get to change the channel just like any other device that you're used to.
I ain't got nothing. And that's weird, Jamie, because I can talk.
I know you can talk. I've never. No. I would never believe that. Not Kerri.
All right, guys. Until next week, this is another episode of the Brightside Chronicles. For any of you listening, what?
I just said this was awesome. Sorry.
I thought because I have 3 shows, I thought I said the wrong show. No lie. Anyway, this is another episode of the Brightside Chronicles. Thank you for bearing with the echo. We'll work on the tech part, but I'm no techie, so we'll figure it out. And I'm Jamie. I love you immensely and deeply and unconditionally as you would be back to me. Thank you for gifting our listening audience with your presence.
Thank you. This was the gift.
And I would say that talent that you have are all these things you have fostering it. The world needs it, honestly. People need to have moments, and watching you guys with the whole just going over your and thank you for making time.
Thank you for making time for me and space and your love for my love. I really appreciate it so much. I'm so happy that I finally got to see you face to face, Nana. It was super exciting, and